Hey guys, it's Christy and welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for joining me. I am so excited for today's video because I have the very first holiday quad that Charlotte Tilbury has released for holiday 2021. So before we get into it, I hope you'll consider subscribing to my channel before you leave. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoy, and let's get into it. Okay guys, so this is the Charlotte Tilbury Palette of Pearls in Celestial Pearl. This is the very first quad she's released for holiday. She did release her Smoky Eyes Are Forever 12 pan palette last week. This has been released this week, and I believe there are more quads to come. I believe I saw one with more purpley options. So I think there's either one or two more quads coming for the holiday releases. But this is the first one. This is the only one that's available at the moment. So this little palette retails for $56 US or 70 Canadian, which is astronomical to me. $70 for 4 shades. But this one is so beautiful. So first off, it comes in this beautiful little box. Her holiday packaging is always so stunning, but I think this must be some of my favorite packaging from Charlotte to date. So let's open her up. And this is what she looks like. This is so beautiful. So this includes pink, gold, and rose gold tones, which is really not unique, especially for Charlotte, but it is a very wearable color story. So I'm quite excited about that. This palette does contain one duochrome, and I believe her website said it's going to be the enhanced shade, which is this one, which is also like the baked gelée formula that she had in her Hollywood Flawless filter quads. I have one of those right here. So it's the same formula as these quads. And it's not my favorite formula. I just find it's more of like a light wash of color, which is perhaps what she was going for. It's just not my favorite. But let's look at some quick swatches of this one. So this is the first prime shade right here. Oh, that's prettier than I expected. That is beautiful. That's like a beautiful pinky rose gold. This next one is going to be the enhanced shade, which is also supposed to be the duochrome. Okay, so it does seem to have a gold. Okay, I am seeing the gold and rose gold shift. That is gorgeous. Okay. All right, and I will note that that shade, when I swatched it with my finger, it's quite powdery. So that kind of surprised me, but. And the next shade is going to be the pop shade. And that's beautiful. So typical of Charlotte, it doesn't have a ton of pigment, but it's beautiful to pop on over top of another shade. And it just adds such a beautiful sparkle. And that's exactly what her shades tend to do. And finally, we have the smoke shade, which is a beautiful kind of coppery brown shade. I think it's supposed to be a matte, but it's almost got this sheen to it. So if you're familiar with Charlotte Tilbury's quads, then you know she likes to do a prime shade, an enhance, a pop shade, and a smoke shade. She does the same thing in her larger palettes. She does it in her face palettes as well. You don't have to use them that way. Use them however you want to, but it's just more of a guide on her recommendations on how to use these. So let's just get into it. So I have already primed with my trusty Milani eyeshadow primer, and then just set that down with some powder. And I think I am going to swipe that prime shade all over the lid. I think I might go with Charlotte's suggestion on this. So I'm just going to take the little mini blender brush that she included with her Smoky Eyes Are Forever palette, because it's so soft and so nice. And I'm not actually getting a ton of color on the lid. I feel like I should go with maybe a flatter brush. Maybe that would do a better job. Oh yes, okay, so a larger, denser brush definitely did a nicer job with that. So Charlotte Tilbury's quads are typically very wearable. They're not the most punchy pigment that you're ever going to get, And sometimes that's fine. I feel like Charlotte Tilbury's eyeshadows in general, she really does try to go for a more everyday wearable look, which I kind of enjoy. I just think it's so easy to get these super glam palettes these days that it is nice to have something that's super wearable. And yeah, you do pay a hefty price tag, but because it's so wearable, you're more likely to reach for it every day. So in my opinion, that's kind of my thoughts. Okay, I think I'm actually going to go into that smoke shade now, and I'm just going to kind of dab that on the outer corner, and then I'm going to blend it a little bit into the crease. I don't tend to do a lot of super smoky looks. That's just not my aesthetic, but I really do like that she includes these. And this is actually going into the crease super nicely. Okay, I love how this looks so far. I love how easily her shadows blend as well. I just find them very, very user-friendly. Okay, so that brown really isn't as dark as it looks in the palette. I definitely find that it's got some pigment, but not a ton. However, I think it's really pretty. I'm not really sure how somebody with a deeper skin tone would actually fare with this. So I'm going to take the enhanced shade now, that duochrome, and I'm going to put it all over the lid. And I'm just going to use my finger. It's just my favorite way to apply any shimmers. Oh, that's pretty. That's really pretty. I love that. So I also kind of feel like these shades also all just kind of melt together, which in some ways is nice because it looks very seamless. I'm getting a tiny bit of fallout as well, but not much. That is so pretty. I don't know if I've seen a duochrome like this from Charlotte before, unless there is in palettes that I'm not familiar with. But wow, this is so pretty. Okay, I think I'm going to take the pop shade and I'm just going to put it, I guess, right in the center. I don't know, I kind of want to put it everywhere, but yeah. And just like all of her pop shades, it gives such a pretty sparkle. It just gives it that extra punch. Like this one probably isn't the most poppy pop shade I've ever seen out of Charlotte. Those are technical terms, but this is so pretty. Okay, I think I just want to add just a little bit more of that brown to the outer corner, just to kind of add some dimension. All right, guys, so I actually my camera cut me off, and then I just put on some mascara really quickly off camera, but let's regroup. So I think this is really pretty. I think this is beautiful. I think the outer packaging, 10 out of 10. Inside the shades, very, very, very beautiful. However, I do think this is a very wearable palette. I think it blends out beautifully. I think it's easy to use. I think it applies nicely. It gives such a beautiful look to the eyes. I really love how my makeup looks today. It's very soft, but very wearable, and I also just feel really pretty. So definitely love this. Now, do I think it's worth $56 US, 70 Canadian? No. I don't really think it's ever. I just don't think it's so special that it's worth $70. I do think it's pretty. I just don't think it's $70 pretty. And plus there's also that premium just for having this extra design. These are typically like $50 US, 66 Canadian, so there's an extra $5 just for this cute little design. So I did pull out my Star Aura quad because I did want to compare the shades a little, and they're pretty similar. So let's take a quick look at these. So we have the prime shade on this one and the enhanced shade on Star Aura. Pretty similar. Star Aura is a little peachier, but then when you get into and then you have that beautiful duochrome enhanced shade and the new quad, and so that's the closest one in Star Aura. So those are definitely different, and the duochrome is definitely unique, But then we have the Pop shade, and this I believe is one of the enhanced shades. So I think that's kind of where the similarities end. If you have one, I honestly don't think you need the other one though, because they're so similar and they're going to give a similar effect to the eyes. If I had to choose, I would definitely choose this one simply because the packaging is really beautiful. This is pretty too, but not as special as this. And with this one, you also get that duochrome. This little quad is also entirely that baked gelée formula. This only has the one baked gelée, so I kind of appreciate that as well. I just think, while I do not think this is worth that high price tag, I still think it's very beautiful. I'm still very excited to have it in my collection. I still think it's very, very pretty. I just don't know if it's worth that high price tag. So if you already have some of her quads, if you already have Star Aura, if you have any of her other quads, I mean, you're probably fine to pass on this. You could probably pull this from anywhere else in your collection. The only one you're missing is that duochrome, but I don't think it's so special that you'll never be able to create this look without it. So glad I have it. Very excited. I think it's very, very pretty. I just don't think it was necessary. But that is where we'll leave it for today. So that is the Celestial Pearl eyeshadow quad from Charlotte Tilbury. I can't wait to see the next few quads she releases. I hope they are just as beautiful. Maybe they'll be a little more special. I did see potentially one with more purples, so I'll definitely be picking that one up because I think it would be unique and it would certainly add to my Charlotte Tilbury collection as well as her line in general. So that is where we'll leave it for today. Thank you so, so much for watching. Are you planning to pick this one up? Please let me know in the comments down below. And again, if you're new here, I hope you'll consider subscribing before you go. I do upload at least 3 new videos every single week. And that's where we'll leave it for today, you guys. Thank you so very much, and I will see you in my next one. Bye!